storm warnings in the Dallas area for today? Have any of our storm chasers checked in yet?
It's big. It's real big.
They've never had anything like a 1.5 mile wide tornado. It would be far greater than anything that they've even dreamed of.
20 tornado touchdowns on the outskirts of Dallas.
See that big supercell?
Mom!
The tornado was 1.5 miles wide and completely engulfing Dallas.
It's not a question of if it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen.
If that thing hits ground, we're in big trouble.
The city of Dallas rises tall and defiant, right beside the convergence point of two massive weather systems. The area is called Tornado Alley, and it sees over 1,000 tornadoes a year. More tornadoes hit Texas than any other state. But so far, Dallas has escaped a direct hit.
If we had a huge tornado hit the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and particularly Dallas, it would be one of the worst American disasters in history.
The fastest tornado winds ever recorded were in Bridge Creek, Oklahoma in 1999. Winds of 301 miles per hour killed 26 people and left total devastation. But experts say that tornadoes can and will get worse. It's only a matter of time before conditions spawn a super tornado, one that is bigger, faster, and packs higher wind speeds than any before it. You are about to see what happens when a super tornado hits Dallas. The people here will first witness an outbreak of smaller tornadoes. Then, when they think it's safe, the city will be torn apart by the biggest tornado ever seen. But right now, this Dallas day is just like any other.
Toby, I'm tired of telling you, son. Let's go.
Stop yelling at me.
I'm not yelling.
It is thought
just
that the
speaking
heat
loudly.
wave from the south could cause temperatures to soar as high as a century mark. at
The
some
weather on the
Texas
day of the
locations.
super tornado will start beautiful and clear. In the morning, the sun will shine. And by afternoon, there will still be little warning that Mother Nature is on the warpath.
Chances will be better east of Dallas-Fort Worth. We will obviously keep you up to date with all.
Toby, you're gonna be late and you're gonna make Dad late too. Let's go.
Hold on. Just let me get my ball.
This is a customer announcement. All passengers on Flight 118 to Dallas, please report to Gate 12.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Hey, babe.
How's everything?
All fine.
Toby get off to Scouts okay?
No, we're just about to leave this minute. Toby,
We better hurry.
I know, we're just running a bit late.
I'm gonna tell him I might be late picking him up, okay? My flight's not in yet.
Really, what's the problem?
Some storm out west.
Yeah, something's brewing here too. Listen, I better get to work. I'll see you tonight. Have a safe flight.
Okay. See you later.
The first sign that Dallas is in line for extreme weather comes from a small patch of darkening clouds in an otherwise clear sky. Three ingredients create the groundwork for the super tornado. First is warm, moist air pushing up from the Gulf of Mexico. Second is a blast of dry air rushing in from the Rockies. The zone at which they meet is called the dry line. The air on this boundary becomes unstable and starts to lift upwards. quickly creating a thunderstorm. But a third and final ingredient is needed to turn this into a tornado breeding ground, and this will come a little later in the day. Even in the early stages of an approaching storm, there are signs that things could get worse.
The back of the tollway, south of the tollway, Park Boulevard, up in Plano, whatever is there, that's all, but it's still heavy. You should move down from Spring Street. North, south, 75 Central Express.
Dad, what is that?
I'm not sure.
You should move up to Richardson, that injury collision in the 2 left lanes. Heavy back beyond Bell Lane, southbound all. Secretary County, everybody done.
Heavies make their way out of the downtown Fort Worth area along I-35 coming northbound. Back starts at the 280 overhead, then stops and go all the way up to Northeast 28th Street. Also heavy already up 360 northbound as you make your way from Arkansas Lane to Division. I'm Monty Cook on the traffic leader, News Talk 820 WBA.
This doesn't happen very often, but usually it has been a water spout, which is a tornado in water that's produced fish falling from the sky.
Water spouts are funnel-shaped clouds formed by powerful updrafts over water. If fish are swimming near the surface, the winds whip up the water and the fish with it. They are pulled up the column and into the cloud base. When the water spout hits land and dies, these creatures fall back to Earth, sometimes many miles away. As the day goes on, small thunderstorms begin to grow, pumped up by hot, moist air from an extreme heat wave in Mexico. With a constant supply of fuel, the storms billow upwards and spread out. High-altitude winds begin moving them east toward Dallas. But 30 miles away in the city, there is only one small clue. The wind is picking up.
Have fun, Toby. Mom will be here to get you in about an hour.
Okay.
Hey, little man. What are you doing here? Scouts is canceled. Didn't you see the sign?
The emergency management team, the mayor's office, and emergency services are all based at City Hall. There are 5 people working in emergency management, but this can rise to hundreds during a crisis. Their offices are 2 floors beneath the ground. This is the start of a day that will test them all to the limit.
Where's the chief?
Dennis is running late, so that makes you the boss.
Oh man, Anna's headed straight for it. Where's Dennis?
Are you listening? I just told you. He's running late. He'll be here in a minute.
National Weather Service, please. Have any of our storm chasers checked in yet?
No. Well, where's the storm now?
This is James Abbott in Dallas. What's the situation with a storm out west? Has the FAA grounded any flights?
We should be landing in Dallas very soon. However, there is a storm up ahead that could cause some slight turbulence, so we suggest all passengers return to their seats now and fasten their seatbelts.
Most people have experienced turbulence, but this thunderstorm will take a turn that makes this flight a terrifying ride. It's about to become a supercell.
A supercell thunderstorm is rather rare, and unlike normal thunderstorms, a supercell has a lot of rotation within it. It's anywhere from 3 to 4, maybe 5 miles in diameter.
Not all thunderstorms become supercells. Differences in the speed and direction of the wind on the ground and at the top of the supercell are called wind shear. This creates updrafts, causing the heart of the storm to rotate. It can transform thunderstorms into supercells. However, only 30% of known supercells ever turn tornadic. But predicting if this storm will produce a tornado is for the moment beyond our technology. Making a call on whether to warn residents or evacuate them is every city emergency manager's nightmare. Bringing a city of 6 million people to a standstill will cost a fortune. Not doing so may cost lives.
Okay, folks, I know your time's precious, so I'll keep it short. Basically, we're getting reports there's a big storm system building out west. It could be tracking towards Dallas.
Wait a minute, it's actually tracking towards the city?
Well, no, sir, not yet. But today's weather conditions are perfect for a tornado. Our storm chasers are heading out west to have a look.
Any touchdown, Jen? I sat here last week while you told us the storm was tracking towards the city. 10 minutes later, it's gone, disappears off the scope. When you can give me some reliable information, you call me.
But even with the most advanced technology, tornadoes are some of the most difficult storms to predict.
It can strike more so without warning or with very little lead time warning just before it occurs.
One thing is for sure, there are now several storms approaching Dallas. All of them are powerful supercells. None has yet produced a tornado, but they are still dangerous in other ways.
God. No, I don't like this. Okay.
The cause of this extreme turbulence is a phenomenon called a microburst. "20,000 feet above commercial aircraft, the warm air that has been sucked up through the center of the supercell begins to cool. It then starts to fall at phenomenal speeds, back down on the outside of the supercell. Planes are in the most danger around takeoff and landing, when the rushing air hits the earth with such force that it bounces, kicking planes higher. Unwary pilots attempt to compensate for this sudden burst, and once they get through it, can find their planes dangerously close to the ground. This is one reason it is vital that the National Weather Service monitor the skies. While balloons measure the temperature of each layer in the air, they also search out extreme temperature differences that can fuel approaching storms. Radar provides the speed of a storm and shows whether it is spinning, but even that won't give a full picture.
Part of the problem with radar is that it can undershoot or overshoot a storm depending upon where it's at. And it does so at like 6-minute intervals. So imagine opening your eyes and closing them, and then you're not going to open them for another 6 minutes. You're not going to know what is happening in between.
Storm spotters like this one are usually the first to see storms of this size reach maturity. The clouds take on a very distinctive shape. What happens next is critical.
EOC, come in, this is Chuck. EOC, come in, this is Chuck with a wall cloud sighting at Westover Hills. It's big. It's real big.
There are very specific signs that experts can look for in cloud formation that signal whether these storms are potential killers.
So what I'm going to be looking for is a wall cloud. This is a lowering at the back end of the thunderstorm. And I'm going to watch that wall cloud and see if it begins to rotate.